It got scary. We had to move into a higher security building, and I didn't know what to do. That's when it got dark.
Too much and too little are both dangerous, whatever it may be. For Casey Neistat, having little to no money was a nightmare, but having too much fame and money brought in problems too. But he found a workaround for both problems, eventually. Casey's journey began when he was just a scrawny kid. In his words, his childhood was completely unsupervised. Unlike most kids his age, he didn't have dinner with the rest of the family, and no one asked him about his homework or how his day went. There was just one rule to follow: be home before dark or you're gonna be in trouble. But there was a loophole to the rule though, as it was never specified what time he should be home. The word dark was never defined as well, and so he had
And it was just kind of like a very loose, kind of fucked up wander.
As a 10-year-old with no parent present to look after him, he was, in his own words, forced to figure things out on his own. His father was mainly absent in his life because he was always working. They may have nice cars and lived in a comfortable house, but there was never any food. Because of this, he had to figure out how to make money. He started as a paper boy and made $30 per week. It was good enough for him, at least until he went to 8th grade. It was then that he started smoking pot and realized that it was a more profitable venture.
There's a 400%, a 4x return if you buy quarter ounces and you break them down and you sell them as dime bags. But if you buy a quarter pound and you sell them as eighths, you're looking at a 1,600.
Having figured this out, he began to wonder how to come up with $250 to buy a quarter pound. The problem was that he was too young to enter that kind of business. While he may have been just a kid, he was wise for his years. He figured he needed to befriend guys who could protect him and at the same time help him learn more about the business. He noted that he did all of this because he didn't have a choice. While there were 4 of them, they all had to fend off for themselves. He described Van, the firstborn, as a magnetic and incredible guy. He also had a sister, the only girl, and then there was Dean, the baby of the family. As if trying to be responsible for himself wasn't enough baggage to carry, it also came to a point that he had to tell his father of his mother's infidelity. He was also only 14 years old at the time. Casey described his mother as a good woman who had faults like everybody else, who unfortunately let those faults manifest in a way that was dark at that time in her life. Needless to say, what happened after that wasn't pretty. He referred to the events leading to the divorce as shitty, fucked up circumstances. He may not have had an excellent environment growing up, but he had a clear goal in mind. He had a plan, although without any specifics yet, which was understandable for a kid that age. And New York City was always the plan. Even though his eyes had always been set on his ultimate goal, moving to New York, his journey getting there was not an easy one. Far from it, actually. When he was 15, he moved out from his parents' house. Well, he had an argument with his mom one night where she gave him an ultimatum after they had a disagreement which ended with, "You either do this or get out of the house." Angry, Casey stormed out of the house with just a backpack and stayed with a friend a few houses down from his. He settled in for the night and stayed with another friend the next. He eventually moved into a house he shared with 2 girls at least 2 years older than he was. He was 15 and the girls were 17 or 18. He got along well with them but got particularly close with one of the girls. Before long, he got her pregnant and they had a son by the next year.
When I was a kid, I wasn't a great kid. I wasn't even a good kid. I was bad. I ran away from home when I was 15 years old and got my girlfriend pregnant. And then I had a kid.
Perhaps unsurprisingly, the two didn't stay together for long. Owen's mom dumped Casey because he was a pain in the ass. Even then, his plan of moving to New York remained the plan. Until that point, he only ever worked in the back of restaurants. After years of doing so, he knew he never wanted to do it again or do it for long. So when he was 19, he quit his job and moved to the Big Apple. With no high school diploma, he only got as far as 10th grade, and no experience, and with a 2-year-old, the only thing Casey had was raw stupidity and fearlessness. Armed with those, he moved to a 3-month sublet that his brother's ex-girlfriend paid for. After the lease was up, he had nowhere to go, so he moved to a stranger's house where he slept on the couch. He stayed there for exactly 11 nights, from September 1st to September 11th, 2001. That very morning, the entire apartment blew up with him and the other guy in it. After hearing about it, Casey's dad convinced him to go back home, but he remained firm, or stubborn if you may, and decided to stay in New York despite the fact that he had no place to go. With no other options left, he bribed himself into a halfway house. For those who don't know what that is, it's a place for those who just got out of jail but are not allowed to live normally in public yet. Because he didn't belong in this category, he bribed the guy at the door so he could stay there. He wasn't in the greatest environment, but he had grand dreams.
Video came into my life before I moved to New York City.
Right,
that was the catalyst.
As he hung around his brother Van, they started to film stuff and edit videos. From there, he maxed out his credit card and produced countless videos, which weren't of good quality, he later admitted. In February of 2010, Casey created a self-titled channel on YouTube. In 2016, a video titled Snowboarding with the NYPD depicted him being pulled on a rope on the street, which gained a lot of publicity. From there, the journey of vlogs continued, and before long, his subscriber count skyrocketed to a few million. He continued on and eventually uploaded a vlog daily. It wasn't easy getting there, but it was the real catalyst in terms of his growth.
When I launched that YouTube channel, the daily vlog rather, when I launched that in 2015, I had a show on HBO that they bought for $2 million. I had movies that I produced, 2 of them in the Cannes Film Festival. I won the Cassavetes Award at the Independent Spirit Awards, which was like the Academy Awards for indie films. Like I worked for the New York Times.
Does he sound successful? Yes.
I had worked for myself at that point in time for 12 years in my own studio. I had by every definition achieved success. But at the exact time I launched that YouTube channel, I was $200,000.
How did he get so much debt? After he left a short stint at MIT, he started a technology company. Remember, he had no background whatsoever about it. 6 months later, he was $200,000 in debt and couldn't afford half of the rent that he owed his wife, a girl he met along the journey who was pregnant at the time. That's when he decided to start a daily vlog. After years of struggling to make ends meet but still holding on to filmmaking, he found success. Eventually. Even then, he encountered a problem.
Fame is a very weird, very strange thing.
He had to leave New York, learn to live through his fame, and eventually learn how to deal with it as part of their daily life. Today, he has more than 12.6 million subscribers on YouTube and has posted more than 1,100 videos and is a New York-based filmmaker, writer, director, editor, and star of the series The Neistat Brothers on HBO. He won the John Cassavetes Award in the 2012 Independent Spirit Awards for producing the film Daddy Longlegs. He's also the co-founder of the multimedia app Beam. Being highly successful in all of his business ventures, Casey's earned several prestigious awards for himself. He's also known to have a strong fan base on social networking sites like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you aim to be like him or achieve the kind of success that he did, here's Casey's advice.
And the reality is nobody gives a shit. Everybody is so focused on themselves in this world. Nobody has time for you. And the sooner you accept that as a creative person, the sooner you're free. Like you're totally free. Like do exactly what feels right to you.
That's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to let us know in the comment section whose story you'd like to hear about next.